Call the November 12th, 2025 Marshall Planning Commission meeting to order. Roll call.
Chair McNiff,
Here.
Banfield,
Here.
Bright, Fitzgerald, Hodo,
Here.
Severson,
Here.
Stewart,
Here.
Zuck, and ex officio Underhill.
Here.
You have a quorum?
Awesome. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the October 8th, 2025 meeting.
So moved. Stewart.
Any discussion, any corrections?
Do we need to excuse the other members that aren't here? First or no? Okay. All right. Now we gotta remember the names.
Would you like,
Zuck.
Commissioner Underhill, would you like to excuse the members who were not present?
Yes, Zuck, Fitzgerald. Bright, and that's it. For tonight's meeting.
We have a second?
Second, Stewart.
Any discussion? All those in favor of excusing those members signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now back to the approval of the minutes. We're in the middle of discussion. Are there any corrections to the minutes from October 8th, 2025? See none. All those in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I will approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve that agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Support.
All those in favor, is there any discussion, any changes to the agenda? All those in favor of approving the agenda as written signify by saying aye. Oh,
My apologies. One thing that did not make the agenda, we need to set the dates for next year. So if there is, we can have discussion, but we could do that at any point if you wanted to do it after the
do it in reports.
recommendations.
Okay.
But that's up, it could go anywhere.
Yeah, I was thinking new business, but I don't see new business on here.
Well, the reports and recommendations is with new business.
Okay, let's do it there.
Okay, so we'll do B, 9B then.
Correct. And remind me, please. All those in favor of the agenda with the addition of including setting the schedule for next year signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next to public comment on agenda items. Anyone having any public comment on the agenda items? And the only agenda items would be the public hearing for 775 industrial tiger towing and self-storage, or I guess the schedule for next year. Please come forward. And that doesn't mean if you're here as a proponent is
The public hearing is really the best opportunity to discuss that project.
okay, then we can do that at the public hearing to discuss it. But if there's anybody from the public who wants to discuss it, not at the public hearing. Okay. Seeing nobody, we'll move on to the election of officers. Help me out.
Okay, so.
I'm not running for anything, please.
Oh, no. Okay, so election of officers, per the bylaws or the rules of procedure, we're supposed to elect those every year in November. And so this is the opportunity to, refresh the seats of the chair and the vice chair. Currently Lisa is chair and Tim is vice chair of the group. That is, as we know, those two positions really are for running the meeting. Those voices are heard from every seat. So don't feel like if you are, unsure about a certain rule, in the planning commission side of the world, really what we need is people to run the meeting efficiently. So
And we can nominate people who are not here.
Matt Davis. Do we nominate him?
He's not here. Carter. We could definitely nominate Carter. Does that, nominations are open if somebody would like to nominate?
I would like to nominate Commissioner Banfield for chair.
Second? Oh, okay. So, and then we'll do the vote first here and then for vice.
Yeah, you might want to confirm that he wants to do it.
Would you like to do this?
Sure. Yeah, all right.
Would anyone else like to nominate somebody else?
No, I don't want to. I was saying lovely, it's done.
Aaron?
No, I did my nomination. This one's gonna stick this time.
Seeing no other nominations, I think we should vote. All those in favor of Commissioner Banfield as chairman for next year signify by saying aye. Aye. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Opposed?
Oh, opposed? We're doing opposed? I thought it was unanimous.
You're supposed to, just so that you have.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations. All right, next we'll move on to vice chair. I would like to nominate somebody else. Somebody who's not me. Aaron, Ian, Carl, anybody?
Ian's not doing anything. Ian's not doing
Tim would be good, just given his.
I nominate Tim
Aaron.
Fitzgerald.
Tim, yeah.
I am all in favor of Tim Fitzgerald. Okay, all those in favor of Tim Fitzgerald being vice chair? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations to Commissioner Fitzgerald. We'll let him know by email.
Tim's have taken over.
Okay, next we have public hearings and subsequent board action. Public hearing 775 industrial tiger towing and self-storage. I have a motion to open this public hearing.
Actually, I think you just.
I can just open it. You're right.
Sorry. So just as a brief introduction to the project, Tigers Towing is looking to do a project at 775 Industrial Road. It is a, long, narrow parcel. And what they are looking at doing on that project is a towing yard, a self-storage unit section, along with an open air storage area for the self-storage property. We require special land use permits for self-storage and open air storage. And we're considering kind of both ends of those properties to be open air storage. And so kind of the whole project is hinging on special land use requirements.
So as far as the ordinance is concerned, where does the storage of towed vehicles come? Is that included in the open air storage of other vehicles?
That is how I'm looking at it. There's a couple of different ways of looking at kind of tow lots, right? They're not deconstructing the equipment there, and so it doesn't become a scrapyard. And I would defer to them in just a second.
Sure.
But both ends of those are requiring, tall fences, 10-foot high fences that should block, whatever you put behind there. And that is from my perspective, looking through our ordinance, which is why I'm I'm kind of treating them very similarly from my perspective. So we don't have, we don't have big lots like that in town. This isn't a huge lot. We could ask them, questions about, the specific use of it, if there's, concerns about, how long equipment is in there or anything that you have question-wise. But that was just my take on how our ordinance would apply to that situation.
First, I would like to thank you for your very thorough application. It was extremely well done and gave us a lot of information, and we certainly appreciate that. So go ahead and explain your project.
Thank you. My name is Cody Newman. I'm here with Driven Design. We're the architect for the project. We also have AR Engineering and Ownership represented here today, so civil and ownership. Driven Design is located at 117 West Michigan Avenue in Battle Creek, Michigan. The project consists of, again, mostly storage. There's one building that is about 1,300 square feet that's being proposed. It's kind of like a small little office piece here. It's a fenced-in lot. We have gone through thoroughly the landscaping ordinance to make sure there's a landscaping plan and everything required there. We've also provided a photometric and stormwater plans for this as well. On the west end of the lot is the storage of vehicles. Again, as mentioned, this is not a scrapyard per se, it's just an impound lot. And then there's the proposed storage units that would have a drive down the middle and on the north and south ends of the lot. It's a brownfield site, so we're just trying to clean up the site and make it have a usable life. There's also about 1 million utility easements on this lot as well. So it's been a very tricky lot to work around, and we've been trying to do our best to work closely with the city. And thank you to the city also for working with us on this to try to make this lot something other than just a contaminated site. I'll let ownership just talk a little bit about kind of what's going to be happening from an operations standpoint, and then happy to answer any site questions that you have.
Thank you.
Stand up. Okay, you come up with me because we're shy. We don't generally do this.
No, it's a little out of the.
Don't be nervous. It's just
Did you
us.
want me to just read from this? Because I feel more comfortable.
If that makes you more
Would you like
comfortable,
me to
that's
give you
fine.
history of us and
Sure.
background? Is that okay? Okay. Okay. We were originally Hammers Towing, established in 1971. Randy grew up in the business of vehicle repair, RV and towing with his father, where they ran a shop out of the corner of Penfield Road in Capitol Northeast. In 2002, Randy and I went and established Tigers and expanded to 111 South Kendall Street in downtown Battle Creek, where we offer light, medium, and heavy duty towing and recovery. We've provided emergency service to the Battle Creek Police Sheriff State for over 50 years. Well, him and his father, Tigers also tow for the majority of the dealerships in Battle Creek. And, he holds various certifications, Hazmat Responder Network, TIM Responder Network, which is training incident management, training in ultra heavy cargo tank awareness, Wreck Master, Master Auto and Heavy Duty Truck Repair for many years. So I think we'd be able to bring a lot to Marshall. So Randy's been recognized for his many years of service and dedication to the Battle Creek community and surrounding areas. He was presented with a letter of accommodation by Penfield Township in 2003, and even more recent this year, he was voted favorite towing company in the Battle Creek Shopper. So I know one of the questions that Marshall had asked was how we plan to maintain the impound area and on the west side of the property, which I had meant we had talked about this. We'll follow the due care plan and consider maybe a non-porous surface if we have to.
Whatever service is recommended.
Yeah, and then the majority of our cleanup is performed at an accident scene. And if there's a larger spill or cleanup, we'll provide our hazmat service that we have, Hammer Hazmat. And then another thing was the police agencies hold auctions on the average of every 3 months. So the vehicles are constantly rotating, and we get what's called a TR-52, and we'll take them like to Padnos on Raymond Road for scrap. We don't scrap them or pull them apart on our lot or anything like that. And then, I think that was also brought up about, EV vehicles and, how we plan to, oh gosh, help me here, Dan.
Okay, there's new things coming up on EV vehicles all the time. And I just went through some training a couple weeks ago. And because of the hazmat part of my business. And even the fire departments right now don't know about this product that they're trying to sell. And all we can do is try to stay up on things. You know, that's all there is.
He's taken HAZWOPER courses too, and they've talked about how, we can, contain these vehicles. And in Battle Creek right now, we have concrete barriers set up in our back lot, in the event that they catch on fire or even explode.
Yeah.
So,
And if we need to, we can bring the vehicles, you know, as far as EV vehicles to Battle Creek, it's not that big of an issue.
yeah, if there's any.
Because I
if
can
there's-
expand that lot. So,
There's a concern with that, so, I think that's all I wanted to touch on, so I
okay,
don't know.
I mean, I would guess that you would have a concern about EV vehicles in terms of like you're storing RVs and expensive vehicles for other people and you wouldn't.
that's the reason why the mini part of the storage is gonna be in the middle. And let's say a large boat would be at the other end of the lot. Makes sense?
Yeah.
It makes sense to me anyway,
Sure, sure.
that's all.
Okay.
And, you know, there again, if it grows, I could always take them back into Battle Creek. So
Yeah,
I've got plenty of storage there. So,
Can you talk a little bit about what the process is for, like if there's an accident and you go tow a vehicle after an accident, what you do to mitigate any hazardous fluids?
most of the time, I'm gonna say 95% of any of the contaminants are already out of the vehicle by the time we get to the vehicle. And, most of the time, there's so little that goes into, I'm gonna say, my lot, that it's hardly worth thinking about, you know what I'm saying? It's very little. Yeah, it's super little. So it's already spilt by the time we get to it.
Okay.
And it's the same way with, let's say, a large tanker
Right.
has a problem. That's most likely gonna be at the scene as well. There's what's called hot tapping, which is you have to, like a semi would be rolled over. And you have to tap into the side rather than go through the normal ports because you can't get it all, number one. And you'd have to go through the side of the tank. And all you can do is do your best to get what you can get. And then plug the hole as you roll it over or before you roll it over.
Right, right.
So there's all kinds of things. That's a wide range when you get into that. So, and none of that would be coming here anyway, because the lot's too small for that.
That was my next question,
Yeah,
so thank you.
anything heavy would be taken to Battle Creek anyway. So it's, yeah, that lot would be way too small for stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
Do you have anyone else with you who you want to present something?
I don't know. I got Vic here that, he used to be in the towing business and he said he'd show.
The only thing I'm gonna say on Randy's behalf, I've used to own Buzz Towing for 30-some years here in Marshall.
Hey, Vic, we know who you are, but can you please,
I just want to make sure everybody knows it.
for the record, can you just state your name and address?
Oh, Vic Potter, 19060 Partella Road.
Thank you.
And like I said, I owned Buzz Towing for 30-some years. I worked with Randy and I worked with Randy's dad. I don't know, back in the 70s or 60s or 50s. I don't remember how long. But anyway, they've always been a top notch. We worked together well. It's unusual for competitors to work together, but we did. And the things he is saying, that's the reason I'm here to make sure he's not going to tell you lies, because he doesn't to me, but everything he's telling you is up and up. And the towing business is a hard business. And there's a lot of bad reps out there as far as, let's be honest, they call us a bunch of rednecks. Well, Randy's not one of those, for what it's worth department.
Thanks, Vic. Yeah. Is there anybody? So unless we have somebody who's going to present regarding what you provided, okay.
My name's Tom Carpenter. I'm with AR Engineering. We're the civil engineers on the project. We're at 5725 Venture Park in Kalamazoo. One of the things that I've heard, and I heard at the last meeting, was concern about contamination. They have approved going with an asphalt lot. There's a storm structure in that lot that would pick up the stormwater off the impervious surface. That structure is a oil separator. The clean water that leaves the oil separator leaves down the road through pipe out and around to the pond. And the last structure before the pond is also an oil separator. So there's two spots there. The reason for that one really is going to be for somebody drives their car in to talk to the office and that leaks some oil. Because you get oil off of a regular parking lot or a roadway. So there's that last structure would also be an oil separator. And then it's discharged into a forebay, which is a vegetative basin before the water flows into the detention area. So we've taken a lot of consideration for how that area might be. But as Randy said, most of the liquids are lost on the accident site. So by the time they get to the site, really shouldn't be that much. But if there is, we've designed to accommodate that.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to speak to regarding the?
Good, I think.
Okay, then we can close the public hearing. Discussion. And we can go through, we have to go through the factors.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best plan here. It's much easier when I had my computer up. Okay. So we have to go through the following standards and discuss them regarding whether to approve a special land use request. And the first one is whether or not the proposed use shall be in accordance with the city master plan and the intent and purpose of the subchapter. And it looks like the staff has indicated that they believe that this is meeting the intent of the subchapter in the city master plan.
If I were to just clarify that position, I know that, this may not be it kind of is a mixed use project, but not in the, typical sense, right? But if we look at the goals of connectivity for the river district, we are still holding space for sidewalk or trail to be in front of this property. The engineer has kept grading, to accommodate that in the future. So at least from, that perspective, this is a difficult site, right? And I think the main question is whether, this is a higher use, than what a vacant site would be in town, right? But that was, as far as the master plan connection, I was really thinking about the connectivity element.
Someone define what is meant by subchapter.
So the purpose of,
I would imagine the subchapter refers to the provision regarding the different special uses in the allowed in the particular district.
Maybe subchapter wasn't the right word. My apologies.
Any discussion regarding that particular factor?
I mean, I don't know what you do with that site, frankly.
It's a weird site.
Well, it's a weird site. I actually listed that site for sale once, and it was very challenging to find a buyer, as you could imagine. But you can't do really much with where there were parking lot, because there's 15 easements there. So it has to be something you can tear up. So you can't really build anything substantial on that entire side of it. And and it's so contaminated, I'm not sure it could be used for residential. I certainly think it'd be stigmatized and people would have a challenge, even if we wanted to put residential there. Anyways, I guess that's my thoughts on things like for other uses.
That's helpful. Anyone else? Okay. B, documented and immediate need exists for the proposed use within the community. There are people in town who are storing their RVs in their driveways, and the city is definitely getting complaints. Accurate?
And then we cracked down, and now people are not happy that we cracked down because they're like, where else are we supposed to put our RVs?
Or just pulling back.
Anything else on that factor? We'll move on to C. The use is compatible with adjacent uses and the existing or intended character of the surrounding neighborhood and will not have an adverse impact upon or interfere with the development, use, or enjoyment of adjacent properties or the orderly development of the neighborhood. And you indicate that it's compatible?
I do. I mean, I think that it's an industrial area. It's difficult. I mean, the city uses a good chunk of that property for access. You know, they have accommodated us, you know, to maintain that access. And I'm sorry, I meant to, where it says dry in there, it should say drive. You know, I think that there are limited commercial prospects for this property. And I don't see that this use is, you know, I think that down the list of questions here, when we talk about traffic and that kind of thing, you know, I don't see this as a huge traffic collector, right? And I don't think that the area would be too concerned with this type of use there.
Commissioner Banfield.
What's the width of the trail sidewalk as compared to just the city sidewalk? Is there any difference in width? And then,
The sidewalk trailed at a deferred date.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about,
What is the sidewalk trail width?
6 or 7 feet.
yeah, I guess I'm not sure. Yeah, did you?
And
Okay.
then, how does the city handle the deferred for later date? How do you handle that?
So we really should, we should follow with,
That'd be a condition that they
yeah,
sign an agreement for
Yeah.
a deferred
we
date?
should follow with a agreement.
I think the point on, I think it's existing character. I agree, intended character is where my attention is, you know, increases on the style and quality of the fence. The landscape plan looks great. As much as I want connectivity, it's kind of a bummer that you have to mow everything down that's planted to put that sidewalk in. I am curious to hear if there's the ability to do anything within the stormwater basin. Don't know what rules there are there, but you know, eventually if the sidewalk comes through, you're left with a fence. Again, that reinforces the need for that fence to look good. But when it comes to the greening of Marshall, we've kind of offset that. So wrestling with that a bit, but I understand the complexity of that space.
I have a suggestion for that too.
Okay,
Cool, comes to that.
and just the point that, yes, it is an industrial area. It looks the way it does now. I feel it is intended to look better every day, every year, year after year. So I don't want that to be like, yeah, it's just a storage space. No. This is an area of town that needs to be invested in. So stop there.
Yeah, and while there may not be much foot traffic, there also might be people on bikes riding around, using that as a connecting
Is connected.
point, yeah.
Thinking about what Divine, you know, company has done with that little corner there, what they're doing to bring the garden club there, host events there. I mean, there is more happening within that space. know a business owner sitting next to me who has an office there that would probably like to look nice as well. So I'm not saying that this doesn't, just reinforcing the need for it, to be invested in.
As somebody who has property nearby, do you have any opinion regarding that connectivity or?
Traffic I've seen there is minimal, so I don't think that's a big thing. Or people walking. I think the only time I saw people walking was my team going to Divines when they had coffee. So until that is actually a real thing, we have sidewalks there. That is the only concern. But to have something there that kind of blocks off the water department and kind of it'd be a nice little backer, because right now all it is a field and I can see the water department after that. So I think anything there is a good change for the city.
Okay.
Actually, just a comment is that it's very similar to the excavation company next to it, so the back portion of that. However, the front portion of the excavation company is well landscaped and with its building and with its main office, that does look nice. You know, it's done very well. But if you go behind where the welding shop is and, you know, where the other portion of that is back there, that would blend in a little bit more with that use. So quite frankly, I think that this is a proper use for that, especially with the screening fencing that's being required or being proposed.
Okay. D, the proposed use shall be designed, constructed, operated, and maintained so as to be compatible with the use of adjacent lands. And you were kind of touching on that. Do we have any further discussion on that factor?
When we get to a point where we're talking about the contamination and the monitoring and testing, I do have a comment about that. I don't know if that fits in here or not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and any comments on D, any additional comments since we kind of went there already? Okay. E, the proposed use shall be compatible with the natural environment. I mean, the natural environment out there is not fabulous.
The river very close to it is. So just keeping an eye on proximity and where anything is moving that could compromise that.
If you go back far enough to the railroad days and what's left of the railroad days, which is at the welding shop, my concern is the monitoring that has to be done of the continuing monitoring of the water, groundwater, and the runoff, where it was explained very well by the engineer regarding going into a detention area. Are you saying that that's a detention area and not a retention area? So are you detaining it completely?
No, it's retention. But there will be, yeah, exactly.
Can you come up just because we're recording and it's hard to hear you on the recording?
This is very soft. Yes, it is a retention. It will have, in the event of a large storm, there is a requirement for an emergency overflow.
Right.
And that is designed into the project right now. And this will come up in the site plan, but right now we showed it going out to Catch Basin 3, which is the one furthest to the west. The engineer didn't like that because that's block construction. The next structure down is precast, and then we can also access that. And so if that's a determining factor, we can access that next structure down for the overflow. But everything in a normal storm and a normal 100-year storm, it stays there in the detention.
That comment will be on the site plan, whether or not it's 100-year, 50-year, or
Yes,
not.
yes.
That'll be on there.
Yeah. it
The
is.
report.
Yep.
'Cause I didn't read it on here.
No, this is a special use just for the outdoor
Correct.
storage. And yes, it is on the site plan as well as in the review from the engineer. And we've agreed to comply with that.
Oh, it might be worth mentioning, the two, oil separators, I guess is what I'm gonna call them, do require maintenance. And so if there would be some form of maintenance agreement for ongoing maintenance of those structures. And that is kind of standard practice, but if there is a, you know, a desire to document that in some way.
Well, that's where the monitoring comes in
Yep.
and then a report from that on a semi-regular basis. So the maintenance of them is up to the owner, but the monitoring is to see whether or not they are being maintained. So I think that should be included as a condition.
Do you have any suggestions on like what period of time the monitor?
Have none, I would bow to the engineers.
Well, as you'll see on the site, sorry. As you'll see on the site plan, we are not disturbing the area of contamination that was identified by SES in the due care plan. That was the investigation that was done on the contamination of the site. We're actually capping the areas that the contamination is in. However, your concern is understood. When you're in a situation like that where you're adjacent to a contaminated area, I have seen where it's an annual report. And often that's done by the municipality. They'll come and they'll check out the structures that are there, making sure that they're being maintained. But it's really a.
I don't think that we want to be responsible for accessing their structures.
You'd be responsible for receiving the report.
I think we could handle receiving a report.
I might be in a condition.
So the annual report would be provided by
The owners.
the owners, okay?
It's up to them to get the report. So one other comment regarding the contamination. One of the paragraphs I highlighted started out by saying the potential for human exposure to contaminants via dermal contact with the soil exists. So you say you're not going to disturb the soil. I can't imagine how you'd clear that site and get ready for construction. I'm sure that the office isn't going to have a basement.
Right.
Probably a slab office, but you're definitely going to go down more than 6 inches.
So, yes, if you read further in that report, it talks about the fact that if someone is going and doing subsurface excavation, that they need to wear gloves, they have to have boots, and the
Hazardous.
vehicles have to be made sure that they don't carry that soil off-site.
Yeah.
And the main thrust of that whole section of due care for construction was that soil is not to leave the site, and no soil leaves the site. Everything that's there is used there. And you are correct. There will be some, what we refer to as clearing and grubbing. And that will take off the existing vegetation, but also that's not down into a lot of the contamination. If you look at the soil borings that were done there, you'll see different levels of contamination. Those are deeper.
Yeah.
The stuff on the top is a little less. Stuff to the furthest northeast of the contaminated area actually showed zero contamination, but
Right.
I think they were just trying to go out and see where the contamination was, and they found spots where it ended. And so that furthest boring to the northeast didn't show any. Inside of that falls under the foundation of the storage units, and then further capped by the drive.
Mhm.
And then storage units, and then in the back there, it's not being disturbed. In fact, the area under the buildings and under the road is actually fill. And that's where the material from the detention and the forebay, that's where that material will go.
Question regarding grading and so forth is probably should be left for the site plan review. But the runoff from the site is intended to go to the retention area.
Yes,
Out in front, out in the north side. And that retention area is probably 3 or 4 feet deep roughly.
yes.
similar to the ones they're building out there right now at the other site?
I haven't seen that site.
So you are going down more than 6 inches, right?
Yes, but in that area, that is outside of the area of contamination, but it's still, that soil still is not leaving the site. It's being used to fill where the road is, to fill where the storage units are, and then it'll be capped by concrete and asphalt.
And then cleaning of construction vehicles, tires, so that it doesn't
Yeah,
leave the site.
yeah, there'll be
Construction equipment that's on the site doesn't leave the site
with soil.
with the soil or the soil in the tires
Yes,
on a rainy, wet, muddy day that never happens to contractors.
right, that never happens. But it is part of the due care process. It is outlined in that plan.
Yep, I
It is
saw that.
referenced on our site plan, and it is something that they've agreed that everybody who's on site is going to get a copy of that plan. It's going to be reviewed, so they understand what they're working with. That's the most important thing.
Thank you.
Anything else with regard to, I believe that was E. Okay. F, the proposed use shall be adequately served by essential public facilities and services such as highway, streets, police and fire protection, drainage structures, refuse disposal, water and sewage facilities and schools.
Especially water.
Yeah, water seems to be the big issue. I don't think schools is particularly an issue. No issue with police and fire.
Sorry. There was no concerns from police or fire. The only item from, water, sewer, stormwater perspective was just coordinating the access, at which point they're going to connect. They have, proposal for one that we just need to, I think that can be hashed out prior to construction, once they get into those details with Marguerite. There's, like I said, I brought up the oil separators here. They talked about the EVs a little bit, and the risks associated with them. That was the only point that fire did bring up, was related to the EVs. That is something that they're paying more attention to, right? And fire department provided some EV information. There's like a 50-foot radius that's kind of talked about as far as EV storage. And I think that if it's more of an operational item, if they're not going to, haul a EV to this location, then they're going to use the Battle Creek one for that, then that's kind of up to them operationally, right?
Like you wouldn't haul a semi.
Right.
Right. So,
And people have EVs in their garages, so.
Right.
The fire department is going to be dealing with that in the same manner they would.
right. I mean, I think that the EV hazard that is a concern is that it's a damaged unit and
Yeah,
not
I think that's the risk. that
Yes.
It's a damaged vehicle that's on the
Yes.
site. Do the current rules, as you said, they're still evolving, the understanding of how to handle it. Does it require you to have non-water or some type of chemical-based fire?
It's not a requirement yet.
Okay,
The class that I took was a powder that
Yeah.
a lot of the guys are putting in or on their fire trucks when they have an EV unit. And they will actually spray this on, and it's like I'm gonna say water almost.
Mhm.
And what it does is it pulls the power out of the batteries, as well as change, because the fire is actually a chemical reaction
right.
versus, whatever, but it calms the batteries. And this company that developed that is a battery manufacturer. So that's what they dip their batteries in before they weld them together.
Okay, but that's not something right now that you would have on site, ready, let's say, if you did bring an EV to the site. You don't have, there's no rule that says you have to have
No.
that fire suppression capability on site.
Right. And in fact, right now, they're saying that they should burn out. Because
Just let 'em go,
power
yeah.
out.
Okay,
and they should not be sprayed with any water.
No water. Perhaps you should refuse to tow them.
Well, there was a bulletin pulled out that if, all the towers stopped towing, within 6 days, every road would have a vehicle parked on it.
Well, and again, you've got other business interests on that property other than
Yeah,
towing EVs. So I would assume that you have concerns about protecting the property that people
Yeah.
have stored.
that's the reason why I've got, I'm gonna call them bays built for EV vehicles, which, like she was saying, the 50 feet apart, they could be right next door to one another as long as you have the pillars set up. And, right now I've got 3 stalls that are vacant, and it's not a big deal for me to make more stalls.
Tom, will that show on the site plan? His separating?
No, none of those stalls are in Battle Creek.
Okay, and you're not gonna use them here?
No, I don't intend to unless, I don't see EV vehicles, lasting. I mean, as far as being built, in other words, I just don't see that happening because of.
Talk to Ford at all?
Sorry.
Oh dear, let's not even start that.
I'm sorry.
Really don't tow a lot of them. How many do you think we tow a month? Maybe.
Well, the ones that are damaged that you need to have concern about, yeah, it's not really that many to begin with.
Probably somebody hits them and
Well, honestly, the biggest worry is that if the battery compartment gets damaged and you're still going down the road and all those fumes, you can't stop in time before you pass away.
Nice.
I shouldn't say it like that, but before you get to the hospital, you pass away from it. I don't know who owns one, but I'm just saying that's what.
that's an interesting bit of information that I'm sure we're all happy to have when we're making decisions about.
Calling our dealer tomorrow.
I have a gas powered car.
Okay.
I do have one quick question. I don't know if it falls under F or not, but it's, you're not gonna have room for a lot of RVs, obviously, because it's just not big enough.
Well, on the east side, there is
Mm-hmm.
bit of room there, it's not like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna get into as far as storage, you know what I'm saying, as far as what's gonna be useful in Marshall, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the area.
There's not a lot of room to turn around once you get in there. And so, I mean, for a big RV,
Right, for a big RV, it's pretty.
you only have one gate coming in.
Right, one gate coming in.
Okay, thanks.
Looking at the water treatment plant and future growth and needs of that has been taken into consideration for access to this space, and city feels good about it.
So there was a lot of very early work discussing maintenance of access there. The city is currently doing work on the south side of that property, updating new water lines. There's a lot of pipe going underneath that access drive. And that has all been coordinated with the city's, engineering and access. And yes, I think they were given a variance for the setback at the front of the property so that they would accommodate the maintenance of that drive, which, most properties, when you have an easement, an access easement, it's used once every, so many years, right? And this is really a daily driver, right, for the city. So that has all been coordinated.
What's the agreement between the city and Tiger Towing regarding that access, that south access drive there? And not an access drive, but the road that runs through the south part of their property.
It was my understanding that that road was for the water treatment plant. And as far as maintenance to it or something.
Well, you're paying taxes on it, it looks like.
Yeah,
And so there's gotta be some sort of agreement between Tiger Towing and who takes care of that.
So the city plows the city plows that. But there was not like an exchange of money, you know what I mean? It's not like we bought it from him. I don't know the finer,
Looks like somebody might know the finer points. Looks like somebody might know the finer points.
In the site plan again, on the site plan, there's several easements to the south on that encumber this property. One of them is for that access, but then there's an additional one for the construction of the 2026 improvements. So those easements are shown on the site plan. They exist on their title, so I'm not sure the legal arrangement there and how that came to be, but those do exist and they are shown on their site plan.
What if Tiger Towing wanted to put a fence around their property?
They wouldn't be able to do that.
And
And that's why you'll see that we've located that fence outside those easements.
I saw that, yeah.
that was part of the early negotiations for the accommodation of the, we recommended that they go to ZBA to get a variance for their front easement in order to accommodate not being able to have that fence as far on their backside of their property.
Got it.
So that's essentially the agreement.
The CBA.
I wasn't at that meeting.
Anything else on factor F? Okay, the last factor, G, the proposed use shall not involve activities, processes, materials and equipment or conditions of operation that will be detrimental to public health, safety and welfare by reason of excessive production of traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, or unreasonable or offensive odors. Can't see any excessive traffic out there. I mean, people coming to their storage units, you towing things, people coming to store things.
That's about it.
It'll honestly take a car slowing down to stop and turn into it than the people that speed by currently. So I'll take that.
Noise doesn't seem to be an issue.
That's how towns used to.
Yeah.
There's a little bangs. It sounds like we're not gonna be tearing things apart.
Well, and we already have unreasonable or offensive odors, so.
Yeah, Romeo is not very pleasant.
Randy, what's the
I was
largest
thinking of-
tow truck you'll have stationed there?
I would imagine sometimes I'd have my rotator there. But it's not like it's gonna stay. I wouldn't have one stay. Not something heavy anyway. Until it gets proven something different, then I'd have to I would have to build a building for it if I was to station one here.
Looks like it'd be a little difficult to make a turn there with a rotator.
Yeah, it would be a little difficult. Mine's about short as they get, but still it's,
The big one.
it does turn tough.
Okay, that's the last factor.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the special land use number 25.01 for outdoor storage of vehicles. And number 25.02 for self-storage units.
Support? But yeah, with the contingencies. So the contingencies, I believe, were the sidewalk deferral. Annual report by the owners to the city regarding the condition of the oil separation units. Was there another contingency that you were thinking about?
What was the agreement that we talked about then?
The fence.
And do you want anything in this regarding receiving reports on?
I think that would be the maintenance of the oil separator.
So an annual report regarding the maintenance of it or the condition of it?
If that's what your desire is.
You feel good about that?
I think that, we would rely on the, that inspection, right? And so just the fact of receiving it, if that, if the goal of the planning commission is to ensure that that is being maintained, I think that would be a good way to do it.
Does the owner have to agree, have an agreement inspection date or, you know, for these, because it is a contaminated site, yada, yada? Do they have to sign something with the city? You're not aware of that? Okay.
Usually, I'm not sure of this case, but typically Eagle, when you transfer ownership of a brownfield like this, they require those samples to know what the levels currently.
What do you know about that, Tom?
The levels, you're on the hook for it. Has Eagle
Yeah,
been?
that's my understanding as well.
Part of the current contamination levels?
Yeah, my understanding is the SES report was submitted to Eagle.
Any other conditions?
I don't have any other conditions.
Anybody else?
Eagle's been hurting way worse than we ever could. They must have.
Right.
So do we want to have that annual report or not?
It's up to the city. If the city's not gonna require it on a regular basis, I don't know why they would require it of this particular site.
I would not, I mean, I think that is, that I would not ask for that normally.
I'm inclined to agree with Aaron that that's going to be a much harder burden.
We
than
are not
whatever
going
is
to,
on them.
the report is just a report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not, there's no electronic monitoring, so it's just a report. So not saying that you would lie to us, they could lie to us.
Right.
And they could contaminate the site. And if they do, then Eagle has the markers of where it used to be. And if they do anything worse, they will destroy them.
Well, and I think that, Marguerite also has, the city does, you know, track water flow, you know, stormwater, contaminants and stuff. So she can tell, you know, where runoff hits the
Yeah.
system. So if there wasn't maintenance, I would expect that she would be able to tell as part of their kind of collective system monitoring.
Once the specifics come back on the site plan, specific to the contamination, the removal of the oil from water, from the runoff, those specs will be on the site plan. And then she'll be able to review that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I also just a comment on the landscape. I have a comment on the landscape plan. However,
You want to save that for site plan?
for site plan approval, if that's all right, we might want to chat afterwards, but.
Okay, so do we want the condition for the annual inspection and report, or are we gonna cross this off?
But point of clarification, so those oil, I'm gonna use the word filter, those are replaced? They're
No.
just there forever and they'll catch,
There-
and there's no need for any ongoing maintenance or oversight?
There is a need for ongoing maintenance.
Okay.
Tom, we might need you back up here.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is there's no oversight, there's like just nothing. It's just like, okay, we're gonna
Well-
trust it's gonna happen. I don't know who's gonna,
What I understand is they're asking for a report that the oil separators have been maintained and that they're in good condition. Oil separator that's designed for this site and for many sites across the state. What it really is a storm structure. And the outlet to that storm structure is a snout that goes down. Your oil and your contaminants float on the top of the water. So as that water rises and exits, the oil stays in the structure. So as the year goes on, assuming you have multiple spills, there'll be oil at the top of that. And you hire a vac truck to come in once a year to come in and back out that structure. And when they do that, they'll inspect and they can give a receipt that they've done that work, and they can give a statement that states that the structure's still in good condition.
So do we require?
that sounds great to me because it's just that extra check of, yes, they're hiring the company to come in, vacuum the stuff out so it cannot overflow and cause an issue. It feels like an easy report to review, but I've never seen this report and I don't know if I'm asking something unfair of the city.
Well, not just of the city, right? I don't know if we ask this of other people in town. And I'm sorry that I don't have an answer for you on that. And I'm not sure, you know, if I don't even know how to like make a recommendation on, you know, if we find it necessary to do that. But I think I would have to ask Marguerite if she gets any kind of reports like that from anyone else. But like I said, I know that she can see as part of the broader system if there is a failure somewhere, because it does, you know, it shows up at a certain spot, right? They do testing of contaminants kind of throughout the stormwater system. You know, if something happens, there's a contaminant on one of the sites and it makes its way to in this certain spot, she can pinpoint that down to know this user has a problem, right? And I just don't, I'm just not aware if she gets other individual reports for certain structures.
How many other storage sites do we have in the city of Marshall?
I have no,
Vehicle storage.
Vehicle storage sites. How
right,
many do we have?
I just Buds if we have one, none,
None, actually.
right? Yeah, but.
This is precedent.
Yeah,
And one of the things that we were talking about is this precedence, and so we
Yeah.
want to make sure that it's done
Yeah.
right.
So maybe make it contingent on annual maintenance and a report from the
And a report,
maintenance,
okay.
the maintenance company.
And Marcia
the
can
city.
check with Marguerite. and-
yeah, yeah,
That's kind of part of the other part of my other business. Is check and balance with dirt.
Yep.
As far as contaminations with surface, not from like a bore.
yeah.
So, you know, like, and there's different solutions for different products, let's say. So it's, the stuff that would be coming off from me is something that I would be able to handle my own.
So you could just
But
do the maintenance and provide a report to the city that you did it and that it's in
Yeah.
good condition. I mean, I don't think we're requiring that it be a particular maintenance company, just that it be maintained annually and that a report be given to the city that it was maintained.
yeah, that's part of the other end of my business, so. Well, yeah, we don't do the boring and this wouldn't be required to bore, so. In fact, I'm doing another business right now, a repair shop, that's asked me to come in and clean their floors. Because I'm gonna call it a franchise. And before they move in another manager, they want me to test the property. As well as remove the barrels of oil, whether it's clean or dirty oil as well, and clean the place up a little bit, I guess. Before it moves on. And like I said, that's kind of some of what I do.
I believe special use permits are given to the property, not to the owner, so this allows them to requiring something from an owner doesn't make as much sense as requiring it from
Property.
the property itself. And that way the property can be exchanged at some time.
Sure.
Another company, another towing company, and then they don't have to go through the same thing. Because it's already given to the property, so that's what special use permits usually are, just like rezoning.
And then you can charge them to do the annual maintenance and report.
Yeah.
Okay, so are those the only two conditions that we're looking at? So with those two conditions, I think we're ready for a vote. All those, in
Support? I don't think you got support because we just.
You're right, we didn't. Do we have support?
Support.
All those in favor of granting the special use permit with the conditions that were detailed signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yay, first part done. And now,
Now I ask about lights. It's like,
I know, and Tim asks about bushes. Yeah.
I'm so worried about everything that's getting detailed and like
And the light guy. This is the hard part. I see no old business, so we'll move on to reports and recommendations with regard to new business, particularly 775 industrial Tiger Towing and Self-Storage Site Plan Review. I think we do need a motion to discuss the site plan review.
If you do, so moved. Stuart.
Anybody else?
Support.
Those in favor of reviewing, I guess maybe we don't do that. We just do it and then we vote on it. Forget that. Let's just go dive right in. Thank you. So, do you want to give us a summary of the site plan?
After all that was already discussed, I'm trying to just think of the details that we haven't already talked about.
Lights and landscaping.
So lights and landscaping. It might be good. It might be good to just note a couple of things. This parcel is in the I-2 General Industrial District. We've already approved the special land use, which kind of paved the way for this project. We already talked about a lot of this. I had in my report kind of the outstanding stormwater questions. Like I had brought up, the only outstanding issue is the point of connection to the city system. And both, everyone kind of feels like that is something that can be hashed out after the approval. We talked about sidewalks. There's no problem with the building height. There is one thing, there is owner has a sign on the site. I gave them approval for a sign on the site. They would like to relocate that sign. I looked at the sign more like a construction sign, but they would like to keep it as a permanent sign. I think that it is possible to do as a permanent sign, but our current ordinance, it doesn't quite fit the parameters for the current ordinance. And so there might be maybe an extra base panel that I would recommend so that it looks like it has a base to it and then it's not a post and panel type sign. I think there is a way to make it work, but I would like to just kind of get some approval for the new sign location, which is indicated on the plans, and approval to work with them to make their sign work as part of the project. So I have a little narrative in there about that. And then the parking count is kind of the biggest question mark. We're going to be looking at our ordinances coming up this coming year. And after this project, looking into the parking requirements for this type of a project, I think that this might be one of those that we want to look at a little bit closer. It seems like we require a pretty high count based on the ordinance. I've laid it out. They ran the numbers for just counting the office building. I'm not sure that's really appropriate. That seems a little bit low at 5. But our baseline for the ordinance, where is it? It's 51 parking spots. And I am trying 51
I
parking.
saw that. That seemed really high.
It seems very high.
It's based on the square footage of the storage unit?
Yes. So
You don't live in the storage unit?
What are the chances of having all the people who have storage units?
They're gonna go, they're gonna grab their Christmas decorations and they're gonna leave.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't it be based on the square footage of the office?
So that is how they calculated it. I don't think that what they have is incorrect or bad, right? But if I go by our ordinance, okay, our ordinance says the 2 for the caretaker's dwelling plus 1 per 275 square feet of usable floor area in the principal building. Well,
That's the office.
but do you always have, I don't think you always have an office, like in the principal, I don't know. I think it's just worded unusually. Like, would you count just the office building then?
I don't see why not. Based on that, what you just.
I think yeah,
Need you a recommendation? Do you need a condition?
I would think so, to override.
I think they're fine.
what's the new one right down the street doing then? Is it have that many parking spots for its location too?
I don't,
No, Hanover Street.
No, yeah, right on industrial.
oh,
like you said, access, plenty of access to each. store.
yeah, it wasn't that many. No,
I mean, there might be occasionally like 2 people who would come together to grab things, I suppose,
Right.
but other than that.
yeah.
Tom, is that drive down between the storage units? How wide is that roughly?
I believe it's 30 feet.
20 feet?
Yeah, 20. And there's a spot at the end that you can turn
I
around.
see that.
Yeah.
No place for the tow truck though, Randy.
The lights on it.
Lights.
Oh dear, lights. Running is fine, lights not so much.
Whatever you need, Marcia, but let's use the square footage of the office.
If,
This week.
so they ran it as an office building. So business offices or professional offices, it's 1,296 square feet divided by 275. So you get 5 you get 5 parking spots. That's what they've provided. If that's acceptable,
They have to have
for-
one handicap and 5 or no?
there's one in there.
And the only thing I saw in there was I didn't see a dumpster. I didn't see a dumpster on the site plan. Is there
Would they,
one on there, Tom?
No, I think is the.
Did you forget to put one on there?
No, I think it's. Buggies.
well, will they need a dumpster or just a garbage can?
All offices need a dumpster.
Really?
I'm not gonna have a dumpster at my new office. I'm gonna have a
Mr.
garbage
Kirby's?
can.
You do, Mr. Kirby's in an office?
I think.
Yeah, if I may, that was the intent, is for just this, the actual office space of this is 450 square feet. So this is not, by code, that's 3 people. So, the intent is, and they don't really want to encourage a big dumpster out there because then everyone with their storage unit dumps all their crap. So that was the intent, was to just have something inside the building, so it won't be a public thing in the storage area. There's 720 square feet of storage in this 1,000 square foot building here. It's mostly storage. So the intent was there just be a toter in there that'd be taken to the street for pickup,
Like a residence?
just like a residence. Yep.
Is that agreeable to the owners?
Yes.
I don't have a question. The dumpster.
Okay, I think we're good on the dumpster. I'm like, do you have a dumpster with a business?
I immediately, because I have a landlord brain, I'm like, you're gonna have people throw crap at it, you don't want it.
Exactly, yeah.
Most people use their cars as dumpsters anyway.
Some truth to that.
Where's the sign, Tom?
It's to the, as you're exiting the property, it's to the right of. I believe.
Just opposite the building, the caretaker building.
Not on the landscape plan.
No, it's I think it's on C2.
It is to.
Yes. So to the.
Oh, yeah. Straight out from the parking lot.
So what's the issue with the sign exactly? I mean, what are we concerned about that it doesn't comply with the ordinance?
It's a plate on a stick right now, right?
So it is, I mean, they have like two black posts. It's like what we would call a post and panel sign.
Okay,
Technically does not meet our current ordinance, but I think that by adding a base to it so that it was a base, you know, like, because right now it's got like two posts, right? If we get a little creative with them. I think they can use the top part. I think they can use the
I
top
didn't
part.
know if I'm laughing at me.
He's laughing at me.
Oh, okay, good. The whole time I'm on.
we're gonna put some LED lighting on it?
Give them a spotlight.
No,
One second.
no,
Yeah, change folks right.
no,
The scrolling one?
no, no.
So,
Flashing red lights?
so
Yeah.
In order.
Yeah.
if we say, we make a condition that the sign has to comply with the sign ordinance.
That's fine. I don't.
I want to try to be able to make it work.
Sign people don't.
Yeah, there could be.
Tell them what they.
That's one condition.
Okay.
If the parking is, we're good on that. I'm sure we have some landscaping comments.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready when you are.
We got a couple of things. One is the 10-foot fences. Can't see through it, so it's made of,
It's an opaque fence.
I know opaque, but what is it made of, Tom?
I'm not sure what the.
I think it said vinyl.
We should, it's on the
Is it chain link with the slats in it?
No, I thought
Yeah, I thought it was vinyl.
like a,
Violent 10 feet. Wind's a factor down in industrial drive.
Getting harder and harder to read these.
The thing in.
Well, if I could have connected.
thought I saw it on there.
I've seen it in the mock-up. I've seen it in the mock.
I believe what was stacked was that it was a vinyl.
Color.
Color. Do you have a choice?
I thought like a pretty gray. I was gonna use like grays and navies. But yeah,
That'd be condition.
probably the gray. It looks like they call it white, but to me it looks like it looks gray.
If you don't have it called out, can we make that a condition?
Sure. We can spec that.
The color.
Color and material.
So do you,
By reducing it to just vinyl, that allows you to use whatever you want to use, but it has to obviously hold up to the wind coming down industrial drive. At 10 feet, trust me, it's a sail.
No.
It doesn't have to, just say it's vinyl and it's not chain link, it's vinyl and it's opaque and it's probably not gonna be red, so I think you'd be all right. I don't think you guys can put red up.
so do we want to,
We don't have to do-
yeah, just a neutral color now,
Vinyl.
yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna tell you what
That was
color.
one question I had, because if it's 10 feet tall, can you guarantee that nothing that you store in there will be over 10 feet tall? No.
There may be RVs that would certainly be over 10 feet.
Well, yeah, each number one would be some box trucks, some small box trucks are over that too.
But I think that is our ordinance says.
If that's the case, would we want evergreen trees around the outside of them?
That
Of
is.
course, get a lot taller than 10 feet.
Right.
Is
Which,
there a reason for the 10 feet? Does that just keep people from trying to get in?
I believe it's spec in your ordinance.
yes,
For storage of, outside storage
Yes.
of RVs. Okay. Yeah, I'll hold on.
They do have trees spec'd in already along the front, right? Is that what you're referring to? Or are you thinking
Not
also the
I'm
back?
talking down on the west side.
On the west side, gotcha,
They don't have any screening on the two storage areas.
gotcha.
And you don't really, you're not required to have anything other than the 10-foot fence.
Okay, can we use, during, or where the, storage units are we able to use 8 feet with the other 3 feet being barbed wire?
No, you're not allowed to do barbed wire.
Okay, Constantine.
No.
And he's pushing.
Just match the fence, or would that be a different material, different system?
Say that again. Will the gates what now?
Match the fence?
They will have to.
Okay, just wondering with
Well, wait a minute.
We're not letting Randy coordinate any.
functionality, movements, yeah, it's
You
just,
can see.
Says the gate has to be transparent.
okay, yep.
So you can,
So the police can see it?
yeah,
How would you do it, Randy?
like a chain link. That's what I would recommend. I'm just saying.
The rest of it vinyl?
Yeah.
Is that good with Tom back there?
Civil engineers are notoriously not very creative. I will leave that up to better minds.
I mean, just keep in mind that everyone's gonna see what's in there from industrial, if it's just a chain link gate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else. I mean, there are other solutions out there.
You have those like metal bar kind
I
of
mean, you can,
fences that we could see through that wouldn't.
Usually when we're approving a site plan, it's on the site plan to approve,
yeah.
rather than us design it for you.
Yeah, it's.
However, we're happy to do that.
The detail is not there. It should be, but we will provide staff with that detail.
So that's a condition that the staff will approve the detail that they provide?
I would
Yeah.
I would like to know what the preference is,
You just-
because you just asked him if he preferred chain link. But our ordinance, goal of the ordinance is so that you don't really see what's in there, right?
Purposes for law enforcement purposes, if we want the police to be able to see what's,
Okay,
somebody coming in and somebody coming out would probably want to.
Just time on the gate.
That's what I was thinking. I was getting confused. We're just talking.
We were just talking about the gate, yeah.
what what's the one right down the street doing?
I'm sorry, what?
Street, what are they doing? Doing that,
One across,
the one that's literally being
They're-
built right now.
Their fence is, they don't have like outdoor storage in that, right? So they just have like a picket fence, right? Like a,
6 foot.
yeah, like a 6 foot, metal picket, right? Like, but it's like the metal, aluminum tube.
But they have a gate.
So that's what I was thinking
Gate.
for the gate,
Yeah.
something like that.
so the west storage gate, will that be auto, that electric, or are you getting out to open it and stuff?
I don't think it'll be, I don't think the requirement for us anyway would be, auto or anything like that. Because there's still gonna be somebody in the office anyway. that would-
Yeah.
So people won't come up and like punch a code in.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like playing designer right now. That's not my job. So that's the hard part here. Chain link fence next to this nice vinyl 10-foot tall fence. The juxtaposition is interesting. Yeah, I'd rather a vertical bar, something that is a little more, has a nicer aesthetic if the investment is being made in that other fence. So taking that into account, ensuring 80-degree visibility for safety, but also the other intent of let's not make this an eyesore.
Can I throw out there, while we're talking about fences, that middle section, right? So we've got
Mhm.
the two end areas, right? Lot areas are tall, opaque fences, right? But that middle section, they are proposing a chain link with like a vinyl coated chain link fence. So you're you know, your chain link, normally we don't allow chain link in the front yard, right? But this is all industrial type, space.
What color is that, Randy?
Throw that out there if we're
Yeah.
talking about different types, right?
Is that 6 foot or?
Yeah, I think,
Tom's probably got that spec out.
can't remember. Yeah, what is that height in the middle one? Is it 6?
What we have is.
Yep, 6 foot tall chain link fence.
I don't know, but we don't know what we're approving.
That gate, on the left side does say it has an access button.
To the storage areas.
This one says G is on, oh, it's to both of them. You have G pointed to both. I'm looking at C 2.0. Probably fine. You have enough distance probably between the street and your gate for that to work.
So the chain link, is a 6 foot fence. But that disappear. G access button on both the,
Mhm.
shoulder and the,
They're doing all like, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So that is called out. So the gate to the tow yard and to the mini storage, those both have access codes, obviously not the same.
Because I'm there until like 8 o'clock, we're not gonna be there, so
Right.
we need to be able. So I was gonna do the full.
Right.
I think we are. So do we all understand the fencing and are we okay with it? And do we have any conditions regarding the gate?
You want to do that condition?
I just want to be clear. I am fine reviewing this, post this meeting, but I just want to understand what the desire is. Are we okay with the chain link at the gate or do we want the pickets at the gate? Or like,
Ian wants to pick it.
I kind of want the picket too, but
Look like a jail.
Either way, I mean, there's,
that's pretty tall, 10 foot is also pretty tall for chain link also, like you got to put a lot of framing in there too, so. Okay, so gate,
does the gate have to be 10 feet? I suppose it does.
that would be a question.
So is it, would it be acceptable to define the opaque fence as 10 foot vinyl? And they'll get you the specs for that. And then the condition be that the gate for law enforcement reasons be translucent. Whether it's, we'll come up with something that's appropriate. But for law enforcement to be able to see in and out, the gate should be translucent.
It's not chain
link.
I think
That's great.
yeah, I think that's great. Landscaping, Mr. Banfield.
The landscaping plan that's shown is, I would rather see evergreens along there. Also, why can't that be inside? I'm asking Tom this. So you don't have your landscape architect here, do you?
No, he is not, but I
Not here.
need to take notes.
Okay. Why would you not, why can't you put your landscaping is to soften the fence? Is that the
That's
condition?
the intent.
Hmm.
Because if it's an open black vinyl, it doesn't really matter what side they're, because you're gonna be able to see both. And then that way you'll leave room for your future sidewalk there if you put them inside the retention area. Kind of like you did down at the office. Or he did down at the office.
Yeah, I see.
The trees are on the inside there. I'd rather see evergreens mixed in along there, I guess. And then the way the shrubs are shown with the trees is there's no bed around them shown. Granted, we're looking at a very small scale. But there's no bed shown around them, so what happens over time is that the grass grows up in between all that stuff and makes it very difficult to maintain over time.
I believe that at least I did have this conversation with Todd. The intent of clumping the bushes and trees was actually to assist with maintenance. Felt that having those things in close proximity and larger spaces in between allowed for better maintenance. That was his argument to me.
Okay, there's no bed around them, so that means there's grass growing in between them. I mean, that's what we're asked to approve, and I wouldn't approve that part. I'd ask that they be inside the fence.
And,
way-
and in a bed.
In a bed, and then logically speaking, that leaves room for that sidewalk at a later time.
And again, that's a 6-foot black chain link fence.
Is it 6 or 4?
Six. Oh,
Is there room to put the trees inside?
Yeah, the three on the top burn. You can see where they are down by the.
Yeah, I think that
Without it on my big screen computer, I cannot see this.
They're not gonna disturb the retention area.
That's my only concern.
yeah, I think it was just to keep them off the slope.
You're mowing the retention area, I assume.
Yes. It will be maintained, I don't know.
I wish we had a plan that showed them there with beds around them. And that is something that staff could approve if you were to if everybody agrees to make that condition. If you don't, then we vote based on what's shown to us. So I'm gonna make a motion that becomes a condition that I would support that.
Okay.
Work.
Vote on that at the end. Anything else? Anybody else? Any,
well, you were saying something about the west side? Or
Well, if he's,
street there?
if he's gonna use 10-foot, I think we'll probably have to live with what the ordinance requires, which is a 10-foot screening.
And on the east side, that fence that's going parallel to Mulberry Street is also 10-foot, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Concern for that corner of Mulberry with trucks coming around there is that corner of that fence is
Visibility.
in a very precarious spot
Yeah,
and
see out of
visibility
that
is.
triangle, Tom, with that corner of the fence?
I don't have to.
We call that the critical triangle.
It's right on the curb.
So
I have to throw a 45 on that corner.
we talked about that earlier, but I know that the engineers, I think the engineers asked what was the comment? Well, maybe we can just go out there and see what it looks like. And I'm like, you guys, we can't wait for that, right? So
There's the critical triangle at any intersection, so.
25,
Is that an intersection or is that a drive?
right. That's,
No, Mulberry is a dedicated right way, but
But-
the drive to the wastewater treatment.
it's an easement. It's an easement, Tim. Yeah.
It's a drive.
Insurance claim,
I was gonna say,
but
That's the difficulty of this, right? Is because technically it's not it's not public, right?
Oh, that one up here.
It's not a, you know, it's a,
It's
and it's not really a drive. It's an easy.
Streets are challenging, requirements that are
Sand, gravel, so they'll have a.
Exactly.
Maybe Andy might wanna throw his comment in there about that. Cause the city's not gonna repair it for you.
The city's not gonna repair the easement on the south side.
It's actually would be the southeast corner of that fence, and if this, even if the city runs over it, because it's.
When a city truck comes in here.
Takes away a little bit of your gated storage, but you
Yeah.
put a 45 on that.
Yeah.
Especially when the semi's coming to empty out.
We need to do.
Looking out for the investment for 10-foot fence.
Yeah.
This is actually.
Does eat into storage, I acknowledge that.
Easement that you've granted
Right.
across your property that you pay taxes on, so they.
Interesting.
And there is a curb along there.
Well, it's the tricky part. That's not public. So it is challenging to put a public safety requirement on there.
Right.
But really.
Yeah.
I think they've agreed to put a 45 on that to. For a little more visibility. I'd be happy to make that revision for staff.
So 45-degree angle on the southeast corner of the fence.
You'll have to figure out what, you know. Right.
Yeah, I think that's certainly safer for everyone.
Be a great place for another tiger sign right there.
There you go.
I don't know if it, that adhere to a sign.
If it's painted on there, it depends on how big.
I can take a picture of it.
Yes.
One last question from the landscape plan. Was there any consideration given to the west wall? Basically everything around the northwest corner and down the west wall of the short-term vehicle storage. I don't know if you can't touch that spot or not, but
Right there.
additional greenery there would be nice to have.
Well, they're not required if they do a 10-foot opaque fence.
Yeah.
Just asking if consideration had been given.
Yeah, if it was open and you could see through it, then yes. We did, that's where we ran into the situation with the marijuana manufacturers out on that side. Out on the industrial road is that they had to be completely surrounded by evergreens because they used fence that was open.
Okay.
Lighting concerns?
I just didn't see much in here about the lighting. Usually we have bottles that show what type of lamp or exterior lighting they might want to use, unless I missed it. I didn't.
It's just the
see-
page for photometrics. That was a
Yeah.
definition of.
And
light.
light fixtures are called on the top right of that. If you look on the type or the top right, there are fixtures and heights called out on
Okay, what picture said I must have missed that.
that. Is
Those are the no night glow light lamps and so forth.
correct. Yeah, and all the foot candles are called out as well.
No strobe lights, no LEDs, no.
No changing lights, no colored lights, no lights that project into the sky. I mean, as long as it's adhering, it's just missed the model, that's all.
Units themselves probably have sconces, kind of. The storage units themselves,
Over each
if you're
unit.
driving. Well, that's not open at night to go
No.
in there, so.
Right.
There were lights within there, must be.
Called out.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yep, those are, I see it.
There, and then there's each foot candle, the blues, each one. So there is
the wall pack on the storage unit there. And there are a couple of wall packs throughout the center there, but all those are contained in the site. And then they're on the building itself, showing right into the parking lot. As you can see, by the time we get to the, we're less than a foot candle.
Yeah.
It's there. Awesome. And all those are down point.
I'm sorry, can we get your name again?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Banfield, and I both missed your name at the beginning.
Pick it up, Cody Newman.
Oh,
I just did that.
Oh, you got it. Any other questions about the site plan?
When I go down there and they're out there grading, I want to see everybody with gloves on and face masks and boots and
Hazmat.
wash tubs and
Spraying those tires down.
spraying those tires down.
All right,
It'd be a lot easier for them to sit in the street and load from inside, but I know they can't do that as well. When they take a dozer out of there, that's gotta be clean.
That's what they're gonna do when they put in that big pipe.
When they do that,
Yeah. Well, they're gonna put, well, let's see, if they're supposed to do that in February as well as in 2027 as well. Supposed to be opening up the south side of that lot, pretty heavy.
I mean, will the city do that?
Yeah, the city's doing that,
And you're asking if the city will do
that as well.
that as well? Yeah, sure you wanna ask that, Randy?
Yeah.
I voted you. He's pushing you.
Mrs. Randy is cringing.
She
Are we ready? Last call for questions.
Conditions.
Okay, so the conditions that I have are that there would be compliance with the sign ordinance that would be coordinated with the city. We've agreed that the parking, as indicated with five spaces, is acceptable. The 10-foot fence will be vinyl, not chain link, and it will be opaque. The gate will be translucent and not chain link. And we will put trees inside the fence with beds on the west side?
North side.
North side,
Yeah.
north side. And on the north, or on the southeast corner, we'll do a 45-degree angled fence for safety reasons. Are there any other conditions?
I would argue that the parking is not a condition that needs to be included because what they are showing is adequate.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, with that said, entertain a motion.
I think we have a
Do we have a
motion.
motion in a second?
Do we have a motion?
I'll resend the motion,
Oh,
so you gotta make another motion.
We do need a motion.
Move that we approve the site plan,
With the conditions.
that we approve the special, approving.
Site plan.
Site plan is 25.02, is that correct? 01?
That was SLU. What is,
What's your site plan number?
my apologies. I might not have put the number in
Motion to
there.
approve site plan regarding. Turn address.
775 industrial.
Road, the site plan number will be added to it later. With the following conditions.
There will be compliance with the sign ordinance. The 10-foot fence will be vinyl, not chain link, and it will be opaque. The gate will be translucent and not chain link. And the trees on the north side will be inside the fence and will include a bed. And the southeast corner of the fence will be set at a 45-degree angle for safety purposes. Did we get a support?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Seeing none, you're approved. Thank you.
March, Michigan.
Thank you for your investment in the city.
Thank you.
You can go beat him later. I told you not to talk, Randy. Be nice, we approved. Great,
Thank you.
thank you. We set under reports and recommendations, we would set the schedule for next week, next year. And
So,
Yeah,
um,
the last public comment would come before that.
oh, I thought
We're
we
still a new business.
written recommendations first, yeah.
Keep going.
oh, I'm sorry. I guess the question is if we want to maintain the same schedule, Wednesdays. Well, that's for you all to discuss.
Every year that we do this and every year we decide that we're going to do it the same, but if anybody is passionate about changing the dates or times.
One time, lots of years ago, we tried 6 o'clock and that didn't work because everybody was eating dinner or whatever, so.
Would Monday be feasible?
No.
Is it because
City
council meets?
council.
It's like the middle of the week is,
It-
it's difficult for me.
It's rotten.
So,
Yeah.
but this is what it has to be. It is what it has to be.
You do it on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Living room. Not showing up to it 7 p.m. Friday.
We could do it virtually.
Me
You
either.
guys don't.
There would have to be like refreshments.
So it's second Wednesday of every month, correct?
Correct.
I will go through the calendar, you guys, if that is acceptable. And just
Right.
clarify that there isn't, some holiday that we're hitting that I'm not foreseeing. I think that actually we would have, probably November of next year, it might hit the 11th, which would be,
Awesome.
a holiday. So in that case, in that instance, generally I'd recommend shifting it one day. What is the preference of the board to go, try to shift it to a Tuesday or try to shift it to a Thursday?
Tuesday, probably.
Tuesday.
Tuesday would be easier.
Okay, then I'm gonna throw one more caveat in that, because if it happens to be a joint planning commission conflict, that would be, I'm sorry,
That's second Tuesdays.
right? So do you want to go in? We can't, I don't think I should double book it, right?
Those meetings only last 50 seconds.
I would say,
The week before?
let's cross that bridge.
Okay,
if we
I will
come
put,
to it.
I will put the,
Just put the second Wednesday and then if you run into it, then you can make the adjustment as you.
okay,
Yeah.
as you
okay.
Approach.
okay.
Move to the third Tuesday. Whatever works.
I mean, it's nice to set the count, like if I.
And we
see it-
may not even have business. I mean, because how many
Right.
months have we not had business? So I don't think it's something we need to fuss about tonight,
Okay.
because it's almost 9.
I just know that we ran into that on some other boards and it became problematic, so I will,
Yeah, but we're easier than other boards.
I like that. Okay. Okay, we need a motion to,
Approve the second Wednesday, so moved, moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Yeah.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now public comment on non-agenda items. I see no public.
Oh.
So we can move on to board reports. Make them short.
I have no board reports at this time. The only comment I would say is we are looking ahead to next year. I am starting to look at our ordinances and to see what what we might be looking at for next year as far as making adjustments to the ordinances. So That's a little ways away, but that's kind of on the agenda.
And the Tims can't wait to tackle it. Tims squared.
The Tim's cleared on mine.
What I hear.
Commissioner Hood? Commissioner Seaver?
Nothing here.
Nothing here. Commissioner Banfield?
Not in talk.
I'm gonna make it brief. It's down in Fort Wayne. I was very impressed with their river district, the investment that was made there, and how that has spurred new development. I would love to see, as a 2026 initiative, significantly increased focus on the river district, what it is, and some dollars behind it to define that. If you build it, they will come.
I grew up in Fort Wayne and it is amazing, the change. It is absolutely incredible. I went this summer and I had a friend from high school to take me on a tour and it changes the entire city.
They're using their river in a way that I wish,
And by the way, they have 3 rivers.
it is very impressive.
Why aren't they called spears? That was already taken.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think maybe, I don't know, it's called the Summit City sometimes, but the Maumee, the St. Joe and the St. Mary all combined.
Massive
We're staying out there.
hospital there.
We're staying out, guys.
Two.
Yeah. See,
We should probably.
2, yeah, Parkview and Lutheran are both huge, yeah. Any board reports? Okay, let's go. Do we need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Let's go. You're opposed?